Hey y'all, it is December the 3rd, 2018. Thank you for joining me as always. I wanted to pop in real quick and just talk with you real quick. Obviously, this video is not very long, but I wanted to give you something of an update as of December the 3rd, 2018. I was doing a little research and putting a little work in on the newest installment of the whole Parkland thing, and I'm making videos, so you're aware of that. I was working on that earlier, and I was thinking to myself that I might have to regroup a little bit. I might have to replan a little bit. Originally, the way it was looking was I was going to showcase this animation, the latest one that you probably got. You probably seen it under the headline, "Second Deputy has been suspended," or something like that, concerning Parkland. His name's Edward Eason, and that was almost a week ago, maybe now. Suspended, you haven't really heard from him or anything like that. There was an animation that was included in these certain articles. There's a brand new animation. With every animation we get a little bit more and a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, a little something to chew on they give us. Alright, so now they got outside, they got in the parking lot, they got all these deputies to include Edward Eason. They said, Edward Eason, he's bad, you just take our word for it, and he's real bad. So they suspended him, and I don't know, or they relocated him. I don't know what they did. Right, they some sort of justice that they were putting on him. Meanwhile, you notice all sort of irregularities all throughout the animation. Thing is, what I want to point out is that it is quite flustering. I have to let you know, if you don't know what you're looking at when you're looking at that animation, is that it's very much a lot of things going on all at once. All right, and it's definitely not the whole story. All right. I'm going to point out all sort of things. One, the main glaring thing that you might notice when watching this animation is that Edward Eason's not the only one slacking, it seems. It seems that everybody was slacking. It seems like over a dozen people, but we haven't heard about a dozen people yet. We've only heard about a couple of different people, 3 or 4. All right, they've been suspended, they've been reallocated, they've been resigning and retiring. All over the place, man. But I'm talking about a sheriff's office, and I'm talking about staff and faculty over there at Parkland. They've been getting removed and reallocated. A lot of the people at Parkland are very upset for a lot of reasons, not just to include moving people around, but like constant fire alarms and constant trauma, and nobody knows what the hell they're doing over at Parkland. So it's a lot of chaos. But anyways, back to the animation, you're going to note there's a lot of things going on. You might need a lot of things pointed out to you. And that's what, is going to be showcased in the newest installment. And, I figured it was going to be about 45 minutes. We're going to stretch it out to double the length of the animation to really, really break it down and analyze it. But what I was figuring out earlier today, in fact, was that isn't even appropriate. A lot of people, before the first documentary, which was Wall of Success, and everybody loved it, thank you, and I appreciate y'all. I put in a lot of work, and I knew that y'all needed that. I knew that that would be another quiver to put in y'all's little arsenal. All right? So, I'm very happy to do it. But right before I put out that first documentary, people were saying, hey, man, just take your time, just take your time. Because they saw me and I was rushing. That's just my nature, all right? I'm a rushing bot. So I was rushing and rushing, and they said, take your time, man, do it right, make it come out right. And so with that in mind, I knew earlier this morning that I had to do this right. It's not going to be 40, 45 minutes. It has to be about a feature length, though, honestly. It really does have to be about an hour and a half, and we're going to really discuss the absurdity, the unlimited potential of absurdity in this newest animation, it really is going to take an hour and a half. You're going to have to take my word for it until we break it down and see it. A lot of people may already know. A lot of people probably pulling their hair out watching this animation. So we're going to talk about it. Is not only will you notice that there's all sort of people slacking, all sort of people should have been fired on February the 15th. All right. But you're also going to notice, if you look closely, people appearing from nowhere, people disappearing into nowhere, like it's all magic tricks. Like people are made out of magic. You're going to notice all sort of things that you might not like, all sort of details to include. There is no emergency medical personnel on the animation. If you want to go check that out and stuff, you might take note. There is none. They're probably there, but they're not represented by dots on the animation, and that's also troublesome. There's all sort of things that are troubling. All right, so much so that we can't fit it all in this video. I'm talking about it is going to have to be an hour and a half, and therefore, you know, likely I don't want to lead y'all on, and likely it's going to take till the end of the week, which, you know, we had nothing but time, pretty much, unless they decide to suicide Nicholas Cruz up in a jail cell. And even then, all we have is time, all right? So we need to utilize it. And like many have suggested to me, probably need to do it right. Probably need to do it right. In fact, you know, overall, this whole thing, what I'm putting out personally, it's looking like it's gonna be a trilogy of documentaries. All right? Just to let y'all know what's in the works. You already had the documentary One, The Rabbit Hole, which already proves to you that something terribly wrong is going on. And then I'm working right now, I guess, on the second documentary, feature-length film. It's going to show you exactly how everybody is guilty in this situation, and they're singling people out, and it's despicable. And then the third documentary, you might already understand, is going to have something to do with jihadis. It's going to have something to do with that Broward Sheriff's Office and people who want to go into hiding just about now. You don't hear from them anymore. Anyway, it's going to be about that. And guess what? You know, I could die today. It could kill me today. It doesn't matter. It's coming out. It's coming out regardless. It's coming out whether I make it or not. It's coming out. All right. So anybody or everybody, go ahead and take solace on the fact that it is coming out. We can't stop. We won't stop. And I don't think that they know who they're dealing with. It's December the 3rd, 2018. Know that I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the wind beneath my wings, and I appreciate y'all.